There is a significant amount of missing and murdered Aboriginal women in Canada, and we must work together to develop a plan of action to stop this from happening. I think gathering more information from individuals, communities, media outlets, NGOs, Aboriginal groups, and human rights groups to build a better understanding of the past and reoccurring problems will be the best way to attempt to resolve them. These issues not only affect the lost life of the women themselves, but also the parents, sisters, spouses, grandparents, children, and friends that have been left to deal with the horrific tragedies, usually without solidified answers as to what occurred and what is being done to stop future similar situations. This invisibility is portrayed through the lack of attention shown by many police forces and authorities in present day, similar to the histories when they were colonized. There have been far too many instances of racialized violence against Aboriginal women that have ended in disappearances and even murder. Aboriginal groups have begun taking initiatives into their own hands. The Native Women's Association of Canada took on the challenge of establishing a database of the missing and murdered Aboriginal women and girls in the country. Despite their efforts to research every case, they believe there are a lot that have not been documented. The NWAC gathered information about 582 cases of missing and murdered Aboriginal women and girls. These statistics show the percentage of Aboriginal women who were murdered or missing, died of suspicious cause, and cases where the cause of death is unknown. In 2010, the NWAC research was the only research in the nation identifying the disappearance and deaths of these women. The Sisters in Spirit is an initiative led by Aboriginal women focusing on education and policy in order to conduct research and raise awareness regarding the alarming high rates of acts of violence against Aboriginal women and girls in Canada. The first phase of the SIS initiative began in 2005 with $5 million given to the 5-year project from the federal government. Between 2000 and 2008, 153 cases of murder were identified in the Sisters in Spirits database. Due to pressure to produce accurate data regarding missing and murdered Aboriginal women in Canada, the RCMP created the National Operational Overview in 2014. This project was meant to tackle the issue differently by attempting to fill a significant gap between publicly available data and all of the information from police jurisdictions and law enforcement holdings from across Canada. The RCMP began cross-referencing the data it collected from the police records with the NWAC and other key researchers to obtain an accurate total of the number of missing and murdered Aboriginal women, and in 2015 updated the National Operational Overview. Not only are government and larger organizations working together to form accurate data, grassroots organizations and initiatives such as Drag the Red are becoming more prevalent in order to search for missing and murdered Aboriginal women across Canada as family members and friends search for their missing loved ones. Drag the Red is a volunteer team who have been dredging the Red River in Winnipeg, Manitoba for 2 seasons, searching for the river for missing and murdered Aboriginal women.
Aboriginal women make up 4.3% of Canadian women, who represent 16% of all female homicides. Manitoba has the greatest concentration of Aboriginal people in the country at 13.6%. First Nations women account for 49% of female homicides in the province. The body of a 15-year-old First Nations girl named Tina Fontaine was pulled from the Red River in Manitoba's capital, Winnipeg, wrapped in plastic in 2014. Fontaine had been missing for 10 days and was sexually exploited before her death. Police found her body by accident. They were looking for a man who was seen struggling in the river. A group of friends formed Drag the Red to look for more bodies after Fontaine was found.
There is a need for collaboration between national, regional, and local populations to draw attention to the missing and murdered Aboriginal women to deter future disappearances. We must work together to advocate to the government and wider community for change.